Hello, Sanford. You are watching the Coyotes Football Network. I am Jonathan West, and welcome to the Howler. As the Sanford College Coyotes are 9-0, undefeated right now, folks. Week 12 of the college football season begins this weekend, and it's going to be an interesting one. They're up against SMU, who is standing up there near the top of this AAC. It's possible that we could be looking at a conference championship matchup between these two teams just a couple weeks down the road. That is not out of the question one bit. Although the biggest thing to talk about this week, I think, has to be what we saw last week. It was rivalry week. It was a big stage for one Grant Fink taking over the starting job because of the instances that have happened with former starting quarterback John Scott, and he played extremely well. Very nice ball placement. He got the job done, and Sanford came out in dominant fashion against a team that they have had trouble with pretty much since their inception. It's very surprising to see that little bit of a change make such a big difference. Not to mention Patrick Jackson's sudden burst and arrival with Grant Fink in the quarterback spot. Talking about Grant Fink, he did make the AAC Player of the Week on the offensive side of things. So that right there in itself, I think, puts out exactly how well he played in what was considered by Coach Wolf before this week happened. His tryout. So, from what I know, I was not told anything different. Grant Fink will be the starting quarterback this week against SMU. So, another big matchup for Fink to go into. Of course, SMU right now 5-4. The Coyotes 9-0. So, SMU has a big test to look at here in a Coyote team that is playing some of their best football that we have ever seen. There's a lot of people already talking national title game. I'm not going to be bringing that up just yet. I don't know how the coaches are going to vote, how the media is going to vote in that top 25. There's still, of course, if the Coyotes make the AAC championship game, there's always that to be in consideration. A lot of things can take the Coyotes out of a national championship bid. So we're not going to be talking championship just yet. What we will be talking about is how Sanford can really keep this streak alive. This has been a magic season for Sanford. Josh Williams playing his best football. The running backs have not really found that mojo to really get things going like normal, but the quarterback under center, whether it was John Scott early in the year or now Grant Fink, who looks like he's ready to, stake his claim at being the quarterback going into next season as well. I mean, the play has been so much different than what we've seen here in Sanford the past 5 seasons. So this game, I think, has a lot on the line. Not only Sanford's undefeated streak, but they're up against a very good SMU football team. Now, SMU will be without defensive tackle Sam Morgan, who, of course, the Coyotes tried to recruit here to Sanford. They'll be without him as well as one of their receivers, Wall, while Sanford will be without for at least one more week Stephen Supersonic Sullivan, their star kick returner. So with that being said, Sanford kind of looks to be the favorite even in the injury department. That's just how things are looking. For SMU, they're coming off of a loss to Navy, who has been on a hot streak as of late. And Sanford, they're coming off a dominant win over UConn. So you look at that and all the momentum is looked at for the Coyotes. I don't know if there's any way the Coyotes cannot come into this game maybe a little bit overconfident. You're undefeated. You just took out your rivals in their house in dominant fashion. Now you're walking in to a stadium that you've been before. You've been there. You've beaten SMU before. However, you've got to think maybe hanging over their heads is last year's loss. A loss that should have never happened. As they'll have to keep in mind Darnell Reese, the quarterback for SMU. And listen to this, folks. This is not a falsified stat total. He has 21 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Yes, you heard me right. 0 interceptions. That's going to be a key part of this, is trying to make sure Reese throws the ball to the hands of a cornerback or a safety or a linebacker, or even just making sure they can get turnovers. So I would keep my eyes on Victor Patterson, who's already got 1,100 receiving yards on the year, because that's going to be his favorite target. We're already sure of that. On the defensive side of things, Bo Witherspoon will be the man trying to conceal Josh Williams from having a big, big day. And with Williams having missed the last half of the UConn game, there are some questions of how healthy he's going to be going into this ball game. However, from what I've heard, he'll be just fine. He plans on playing all 4 quarters. Another corner to watch is DJ Davis. He's a solid player on the other side of Witherspoon, and he could be a force to be reckoned with against Adam Gillette. Another member of that secondary is Brian Concepcion. Now, Concepcion is a very solid, strong safety. He plays somewhat like a ball hawk to a point. He's got 2 picks on the year and 6 passes deflected. So expect to see him kind of hover a bit more than you would expect most strong safeties. Now, of course, we've already touched on it. Grant Fink will remain the starting quarterback this week. 7 passing touchdowns to 2 interceptions so far in the year. And Fink looked very, very sharp in last week's ball game. Now it's up against an SMU team that he has never faced. He saw what they can do last year during his redshirt season. We'll see how he plays this year given time. And of course, let's talk about the man who seems to be his favorite target, Patrick Jackson. Really starting to come out of his shell here in the last half of the season, and it is fun to watch. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year. That is a career high. And on the defensive side, well, with the struggle of Shea Faraday, Scott Boyd has really shown up. 6 sacks this season. That's a career high for him. He has done what's needed to be done with Faraday struggling this year. So it's nice to see at least one of the defensive ends is getting what they need done. And then, of course, you can't sit here and not talk about the man who has been the leader of that secondary. Dustin Jordan now has his first pick in 2 years. Yes, you heard me right. Dustin Jordan with his first interception last week in 2 years' time. It's good to see him finally get that pick back. As you folks watched some practice, they had a very rare night practice this past week. They were getting ready for any night games that come up, and it's very interesting. They don't hold these often. They're normally closed off to the public. We were able to get some footage in order to show you folks here on the Howler, but it's one of their very interesting practices. They take it seriously, but more like a kind of just fun game of football is kind of how the coaches like to interact with it. But nonetheless, that's enough talking about the style of practice they had this week. Let's talk about the key factor, and that is the whole situation at hand inside this team. John Scott, of course, now a backup to Grant Fink for at least the time being from what we're seeing. And Grant Fink looks like he's more than willing to take that starting role away from John Scott, even looking into next season. This team has a chance at a possible national championship. Right now, they're ranked number 6 in the nation. It is not out of the question that by the end of the year, at the worst, they might be number 3 in the nation if they remain undefeated. I mean, hey, they could be ranked number 1 in the nation if they remain undefeated and just the teams in front of them take a loss. There are so many possibilities for this team this year that if this quarterback situation were to flounder at one point this year, I don't think it would kill this team, but it would be a heartbreaker for the fans and everyone here. And I can tell you folks, I've never had more fun calling Sanford College football in this season because the unexpected is real here. You go into every game hoping they don't take the loss. You don't want to have to call that first loss of the season now. It's a very fun, interesting situation, and there have been calls being made to the athletics department about a possible move, and from what I'm hearing, the Big Ten has been in very, very strong negotiations to get Sanford in there, possibly next season or the season after. So I wouldn't be surprised if a national championship win could come with a move to the Big Ten. This team has already moved once from the MAC to the American. Well, now they might be on the move again from the American to the Big Ten. There's a lot of intrigue going on with Sanford right now, from media coverage to just about everything. This team's finally getting that spotlight that Claude Fleming last season said they were not getting and should have been getting. It's finally fun to see that come through. I really wish it had been when Fleming was here. But sadly, not to be done. Now with Grant Fink at the helm, Joe Baker at running back, and, well, a star-studded cast of wide receivers, I think. This team is finally getting that representation. The only question now is if SMU is going to be the team to take that away from them. We saw how they played last season, a very tight game down to the wire in a heartbreaking defeat. Now you're going to SMU. You got to make sure a heartbreaking defeat doesn't happen again. And that's something that I think, especially for those players that played that game last year, guys that have to really keep Fink on the right track, keep him focused for this game. They have to remind him that last season they had it. They had that game won, and one mistake was the difference. So at this point, it's kind of, what do you do that you weren't able to do last year? And from looking at this team from offense to defense to special teams, this team has everything in the making to make a run at a championship, and especially get the win this coming weekend. That's all the time we've got for the Howler this week, folks. We'll be back with more here this weekend as the Sanford College Coyotes take on the SMU Mustangs in more AAC conference play. Hello, Sanford. You are watching the Coyotes Football Network. I'm Jonathan West, and it is game day as welcome to Gerald J. Ford Stadium here in Texas as the SMU Mustangs host the number 6 Sanford College Coyotes. It's going to be a fun one. The Coyotes trying to defend their national title hopes, trying to get a shot at playing the big game this year, trying to get in that BCS championship game. They're undefeated on the year, and they've got to defend that streak. Nobody thought they'd be where they are this season, but they have a huge opportunity in front of them, and everything may come down to, like it did last year against the SMU Mustangs, the fourth quarter and the last play of the game. It's going to get tough. It's going to be rough, and they're up against a quarterback in Darrell Reese who has yet to throw a pick or make any mistakes from the quarterback position. We'll see if that remains the same this week against this tight secondary and Dustin Jordan, who's already got his first pick of the year. Mustangs, Coyotes, AAC play. It's gonna be a fun one. And we are off here as SMU kicks it away. Chad Riley, the man to return this one. As, of course, Steven Supersonic Sullivan still out for at least one more week. They are unsure exactly if he'll be back this next week, but we'll have more news on that in the Howler as Sanford gets us underway on offense, and that is not the way you want to start. Out of the shotgun, Fink goes down on the sack. That's Mark Bates that brought him down. It'll be a loss of 8. And that is the worst situation. A big hit on Fink, not to mention, in this beginning of the game. As 2nd and 18, they'll go to a screen early, and Baker's got room for days to the 20 and past the 25 up to around the 30-31 yard line. You want to talk about that sack now again, we can, because it really didn't seem to matter there as that screen gets everything back and more than enough for the first. 1st and 10 now. Under center is Fink, and the single back. He'll pitch off to Joe Baker. He's got room to run. Good start for Joe today as a first down. He was able to shake off one would-be tackler and gains 15 on his first run of the day. 1st and 10. Tom Joseph is checked in now. They'll go up the middle with Tom, and that's going to be a 4-yard gain. Much more the bruiser than Joe Baker, and it's worked very well for their tandem. Now Chad Collins came in, the eye specialist, as it didn't work out. They wanted the play action there, but nobody seemed to really bite. There was too much pressure coming in, and Fink just didn't get it off in time. 3rd and 15 after the SMU sack. Fink now has to make a big play here. Over the middle, that's intercepted as Davis takes it away. It was a big play, but for the wrong color jersey, as Grant Fink throws his first pick of the day. And this is an early interception. We talked about Davis in the Howler on the other side of Witherspoon, and he's already come to attack. As Darrell Reese now over the middle and nearly throws an interception in and out of the hands of freshman linebacker Adam Woods. Reese is yet to throw a pick, and he nearly threw one on his first throw of the game. We'll see what happens here. 2nd and 10, Darrell Reese on the run, but look at that, chased down by Matthew Fowler. The speed of the middle linebacker on display. Now the no-huddle offense begins as Reese checks down to Morse, but he's brought down. Marcus Morse gets nothing but 1 yard. Nothing going there. It's back to the Sanford offense now as they'll go back to the ground with Joe Baker. Only 2 yards on that run as they have started very similar to the old style they used to run. As Fink now going to throw here out of the full house. He connects with Adam Gillette, and he hangs on. 14-yard reception. Great catch by Gillette to make sure he kept a hold of that one. So a new set of downs as they continue to run out of a single back here, and Baker with a little bit more yardage. That's going to be a gain of 6 as he's starting to find some holes. 2nd and 4 as Tyrese Baker checks in on the pistol, and he just hands it off to Joe Baker, and it's a 12-yard gain. Another big first down run. Baker having a very good start to the day. 1st and 10, play action from Fink. Checks it down short to Theory. He tried to circle back around. It didn't work out. He did make sure, though, to get to the line of scrimmage, so it will be no loss. 2nd and 10 out of the shotgun. They're going to the bread and butter, but the blitz came in, and Fink runs out of time. 3rd and 10. Fink looking to throw. Wide open. That's Taylor Moore, and that is a huge first down, 25 yards. Taylor Moore has been an exceptional playmaker when he gets the opportunity. It's been fun to watch him make these plays, and he's just been showing off. 1st and 10 now. Fink pitches out to Baker. Baker can't shrug off that tackle as it's only going to be a gain of 3 this time around on the toss. 2nd and 7 in the I form. Fink gonna drop back. Over the middle, connects with Williams on the slant. It's a 9-yard gain in the first catch today for Josh Williams. 1st and 10, still in the I form. They go Collins, the optometrist. They call him. And that's going to be no gain as he gets just back to the line of scrimmage. This SMU defense has been tough through one as it's 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. We're all tied up. We'll see what happens come the second here on the Coyotes Football Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Coyotes Football Network. It's all tied up at 0 apiece, but Fink and company in the red zone as he just gets that one away and luckily falls incomplete as pressure once again coming in from SMU. 3rd and 10 in the shotgun. Fink takes the snap. Looking to throw back in the end zone. That's Patrick Jackson. 11-yard touchdown reception. SMU, you're now losing as Sanford draws first blood with a score. 1st and 10 now for the Mustangs as Reese looks to throw. Over the middle, short, connects with Jermaine Forte. 14-yard connection and a big first down. 1st and 10, Reese takes the snap once again. He connects with Evans this time, and that's going to be another nice gain. 9 yards here on that one. The no-huddle offense continuing for the Mustangs is 2nd and 1. Handoff goes to Forte. He sheds off Scott Boyd and is able to get enough for the first before he's taken down by Justin Moss. It's another first down situation as Reese looks to throw. It's a check down to Patterson, and he fights away Scott Boyd, but only a gain of 2 as he's brought down by a number of defenders. 2nd and 8, the no-huddle continuing to be the biggest weapon here as the handoff goes to Forte and he's caught from behind. Shea Faraday on that tackle, a gain of 4 for the Mustangs. 3rd and 4 now as Reese needing to get a first here. He finds Gardner and that's going to be enough. 7-yard reception for Zach Garner and a new set of downs for SMU. It looked like Sanford was going to bring an end to this SMU offensive drive, but they were able to get another first down as Reese to throw. Over the middle to Patterson, another short pattern. He'll gain 7 on that catch. SMU's been able to make all of these downs just manageable, and it's worked out for him, but Reese tries to run this time on an option. That didn't work out. Adam Woods all over him. That is a true freshman playing linebacker, folks, and he is at a very solid first season. 3rd and 5 for Darrell Reese. He's going to take off. He didn't see anything, and he doesn't get enough. He's brought down by Kellen Herron, the big defensive tackle. 4th and 1. As a jump here by SMU. That's huge. Now that makes it 4th and 6 for the Mustangs. What do you do here? The Mustangs electing to just take their points with a field goal as the kick is up. And it's no good. It is missed wide right as Sanford will now take over. Well, the Coyotes still on top 7-0 after the missed field goal. Fink over the middle connects with Garrett Theory. It's a 13-yard reception and enough for a new set of downs. 1st and 10 now. Handoff goes to Joe Baker and a nice block there by Gutierrez to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Down at the 1 is Joe. What a rush. I mean, that is amazing. We have not seen Joe able to really get that much room this season. He finally does a huge play. And Tom Joseph checks in and steals the touchdown away from Joe Baker. But hey, either way, it is a score for the Coyotes. And I think everyone will take that as now Sanford ups their lead to 2 possessions. 14-0, and SMU needs a big play as that off the hands of Morse. He can't hold that one in as that's going to cause 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation here for the Mustangs. They'll go to the ground with Jermaine Forte, and that's going to be a gain of 10. 3rd and inches coming up, though, as they're not going to give them the first. As this is just inches away, they'll go for the option, and Adam Woods all over Reese. What a smart tackle, though. He hauls him down and makes sure to bring him behind him. Well, it's Sanford football again, and they have great field position as Adam Gillette can't find any room on the end around. Only a gain of 4 there. 2nd and 6. Handoff goes to Joe Baker. Once again, finding the holes needed. A gain of 9 and enough for the first down. Baker has already hit 100 yards on the day. As 1st and 10 play action here by Sanford, but they're just, looks like Fink's just going to take off past the 30 and into the red zone go the Coyotes. As Grant Fink with a 29-yard rush. He didn't see anything open downfield after the play action, decides just to take off and run, and it worked out. 1st and 10 once again out of the shotgun. They go for an option here, and Fink doesn't find anything. He'll lose a yard. Bates on the tackle. 2nd and 11 here as the handoff goes to Joe Baker. Once again is able to find some room at least, though. He'll gain 6 on that rush. More manageable 3rd and 5 now coming up. As out of the pistol, they go option with Tyrese Baker. He lunged for the end zone, couldn't get there. It will, though, be a rush of 14 and be down at the 1-yard line. 1st and 10 in the goal line package. They pitch it to Baker, and he gets his touchdown this time. A 1-yard touchdown from the pitch to Joe Baker. Well, there we go. Baker now has the touchdown he should have gotten last drive. Sanford now up 21-0, and SMU's got to get desperate here, I would think, here at some point. They're trying to get some points here before the half as a 15-yard comeback connection to Victor Patterson. 1st and 10 now. Reese going play action. Deep ball, that's Morse, and he's got a big 32-yard catch now. First timeout taken by SMU. 1st and 10 here, shotgun formation. Reese takes the snap. He's looking to throw, but he's going to take off. Big hit there as he's brought down by, I believe, Matthew Fowler. 2nd and 5. Reese in the shotgun. Man in motion is the tight end. And Reese is going to throw. No, he's going to take off again. He's got the first down and more, as that's going to be a 15-yard gain. Well, SMU is looking to finally get some points on the board here. They're down at around the 7-yard line. 1st and goal, man in motion as Reese looks to throw to the back of the end zone. It's tipped. Intercepted Keith Darby. What a pick. The true freshman out of Talladega, Alabama, with an amazing interception. His 2nd on the year as we head into halftime. 21-0. The Coyotes on top of the Mustangs. Welcome back, everyone, here to SMU. It's 21-0. Sanford on top as SMU's offense begins this second half, and it's a 3-yard catch for Marcus Morse. And the Sanford College Coyotes have looked dominant on offense or defense. A phenomenal pick by Keith Darby to end the half as a screen here to Victor Patterson is going to pick up 8 yards and enough for the first down, brought down by Adam Woods. 1st and 10 here for SMU. The Mustangs looking to get something going. It's a short throw over the middle. That's Ray Evans, 6 yards on that reception. As now the no huddle continues, it's Jermaine Forte, 3-yard run. as that will bring up 3rd and 1 here. What can they do? They try to run it with Forte, and it doesn't work out. That was Dylan Trevor, and I believe Daniel Clemens came up, or indeed Daniel Clemens came down to make that tackle. As Chad Riley getting a chance to return this one. He'll find a little gap there. He had some blocks and he makes the most out of it. A 25-yard return and sets up Sanford in great field position. Sanford starting from their own 40 as Fink throws the curl to Williams, and it works out. 16-yard reception. 1st and 10, handoff goes to Baker, but this time he's bottled up. First time today, he's really found nothing at all. 2nd and 9, following the Joe Baker run. They'll go back to Baker. This time he finds some more yardage. That's going to be a gain of 5, setting up a manageable 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 in the single back. Fink drops back over the middle. That's Garrett Theory. Big first down, 22 yards. That was a dagger right down the middle of the field, and Theory just sliced and diced this defense, and that's no fast man going down the middle of the field. 1st and 10 here. Fink, off play action, rolling out. He'll just chuck it away. He didn't see anybody open. He just threw that one to get it out of bounds. 2nd and 10. Fink hands off to Joseph, and Joseph down to the 1-yard line. Very similar situation now to Joe Baker's run. He couldn't get his way in either. 15-yard gain though. As Sanford now at the 1-yard line. Handoff goes to Collins, and now the optometrist gets involved. 3 running backs have 3 separate touchdowns. 1st and 10 for SMU as they're looking at a 4-score deficit. Reese to throw. He connects with Morse. Once again, only a 3-yard gain. They are not trying to go down the field much. 2nd and 7 now, as the no huddle has been a weapon here for SMU today. Reese looking to run with the football, and he is nearly taken out of this game. Justin Moss with a huge hit. As the no huddle continues here. 3rd and 5. Handoff goes to Jermaine Forte. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Jeremiah Forte. But a gain of 6, enough for the first down as they continue to run this no huddle. And it's going to take its toll eventually on this defense, as Forte only getting 3 on that run. 2nd and 7 now. Reese over the middle connects with Morse. It's another short throw, only a gain of 3. It sets up a manageable 3rd and 4 though. So here we go, folks. 3rd and 4. Handoff goes to Forte, and he's bottled up. Nowhere to go. That was Dylan Crosby on the tackle. As off play action here, Fink throwing, connects with Garrett Theory. He sheds off one would-be tackler and gains another extra about maybe 5 to 7 yards. This offense has just clicked today. Whether it's the ground game or the passing attack, this offense is clicking today and looking great. 1st and 10 here. Under center is Fink. Handoff goes to Joe Baker. Gutierrez with another block. He's got open running room. 20, 10, 5. This time he's in the end zone on the long one. 54 yards to the house. Joe Baker has now rushed for over 160 yards today. What a day for Baker. 1st and 10 now for Reese as he goes to the screen for Forte, and that's not going to work out. That is Dylan Trevor on the tackle. 2nd and 11 now as Reese takes the snap, setting up another screen. This time Forte's got room, but he still stops short of the marker. It's a gain of 9 on that screen. 35-0, folks. Just a friendly score reminder here. Sanford dominating today, and it's intercepted. Daniel Clemens to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Well, Darrell Reese came in with no interceptions. He will now leave with 2 interceptions, and one of which going back for a pick 6. That's what you get, Reese. You ain't perfect anymore. 42-0, folks. And I believe that the backups have been brought into the ball game already, as Ray Evans with a 13-yard reception there. If I am correct here, I believe the backups may have been brought into this ball game. As Reese throws again. This time it's picked off. That's Tyrone Justice, the backup safety. 3 interceptions by this secondary today, folks. 1 from Keith Darby. We just saw Daniel Clemens just a little while ago. And now Tyrone Justice. As a pitch goes out to Chad Collins, John Scott being brought into the ball game in garbage time here, as Collins can't find much room on that run. 2nd and 9, handoff goes to Tom Joseph, and Joseph able to find some room. That'll make it 3rd and 2 after the gain of 7. 3rd and 2 here, last play probably of the 3rd quarter. Scott looks to throw to the end zone. He connects with Jackson, 23 yards down at around the 4-yard line. This offense, I don't think it matters who's under center, who's catching the football, who's in at running back, who's doing whatever on this offense, they're clicking. As we go to the end of the 3rd quarter, 42-0. This here is what you call domination, as we will be back with the 4th quarter after this. Welcome back, everyone, to SMU. It's the final quarter of play here, and it is all Sanford College, as Tom Joseph can't find the end zone, but he'll be down at the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal here, play action. Scott, though, can't get it off in time. He'll be brought down as the pressure just came flooding in. Sean Billings, the man who's going to get that sack. Not like it hurt Sanford much. It will make it 3rd and goal now from around the 9-yard line. As Scott in the full house formation now. He takes the snap, looks to throw, on the move a bit, but connects with Taylor Moore. Touchdown Sanford. No one can do any wrong here today. It's about to be 49-0 with a Jackson Stone extra point. We'll finally take you to a studio update here, folks. Nebraska defeating Wisconsin 38-31 in a very tight one in Nebraska. They will remain number 9 in the nation for now. Back to SMU as this Sanford defense looks to continue their dominance as well. As the throw from Darrell Reese goes to Garner. They'll call it a catch, but it looks like under booth review here, Garner not having a foot down until on the white. I'm not sure if he dragged that back foot, though. We'll see what they call here. They're going to reverse it. 2nd and 10. A little bit surprised at that one. That was a tough 1-2 call. As Reese sets up another screen here for Forte. And he will have a gain of 7. 3rd and 3 now. Handoff goes to Forte, but he's dropped. He is dropped. No first down there. As Sanford takes back over, Baker trying to run out of that pistol. Can't find any room as he'll be dropped for a loss of 3 on that one. Scott now back in under center. He'll hand off to Tom Joseph, and my God, a big hit on Joseph. DJ Davis. Huge hit there as 3rd and 13. Scott looks to throw the bread and butter. That's Patrick Jackson. He has had a phenomenal past couple weeks. 23 yards on that catch. Still playing here today. They love seeing him on the outside, giving him those snaps. and being able to show those scouts as he is a senior here on this team. 1st and 10 now for Sanford as the handoff goes to Tom Joseph, and he does stay in bounds. It's a gain of 5. They're just running this clock at this point. Handoff now to Collins as he gets a 1st down and plenty more. Gain of 13 on that run. 1st and 10, single back formation. Scott right back to Tom Joseph. I don't think we'll see much throwing the football at this point. 2nd and 5 now coming up. Under 3 minutes remains in this ball game. Sanford taking all the time off the clock, and they're going to throw. That's Chad Riley on the reception. A short throw winds up in a 7-yard gain and a 1st down. That's Riley's first catch of the ball game. 1st and 10 here with under 2.5. Scott under center, and the handoff goes to Tom Joseph. That will be another nice 5-yard gain. I think they could just kneel the ball out already. They're going to keep playing, it looks like. 2nd and 5. Handoff goes to Joseph. He's fighting, but can't find enough for the 1st or the end zone. A gain of 3. It's 3rd and 2 with a minute to go here. Pitch goes out to Tom Joseph. Good blocking. And he'll just run out of bounds, not even into the end zone. I'm guessing they just want to go home. As that will be the end of this ball game. They just need the ball out for the rest of the time. And your player of the game, folks, obviously, Joe Baker, 167 on 12 carries, 2 touchdowns, and he looked like the young man we thought he would look like at the beginning of the season. He's had a rough year, but a game like that might be exactly what Baker needed. But I'd say your secondary players of the game, the Sanford secondary, from starters to backups, played amazing. 3 interceptions, 1 from Darby, 1 from Daniel Clemens going all the way back, and of course Tyrone Justice grabbing the 1st of his career. So an absolutely amazing game. Once again, your final from SMU, 49-0. Sanford completes the shutout. We will see you folks next week here on the Coyotes Football Network. I've been Jonathan West, and we will see you next week.